Beats Planet.
Chicken. What combo y'all picking, man? What's cracking like this? Man, make some noise, man. What's good, y'all? We back at it. Like I said, we're heading into full blown draft mode. Let me just set the table real fast before we get going. This live stream may or may not be a long one. It depends. But if you're a Cowboy fan that's tuned into my live stream, like right this second, at 9 Central, 10 Eastern time, we're going to do a Cowboys live stream. So I'm doubling up on the live streams tonight. It's going to be Voch, Law Nation, and Foots the King. We're going to be doing another round table at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. So y'all make sure you put that on your calendar, put that in your memo, set an alarm. Stay tuned for all that. But we talking draft talk for everybody right now. You know what I mean? That's basically where we at this time around. So a few thoughts. We got Senior Bowl this week. I'm going to be covering the entire thing. I'm going to be recapping every Senior Bowl practice. Then I'm going to, recap the game and all that. Plus, I will be doing film analysis on the one-on-one. So if I can get good wide receiver versus DB footage, I'll be showing y'all that. But I will absolutely be breaking down offensive line versus defensive line one-on-ones, just like last year. Steelios 300, what's up, bro? Thanks for the super chat. Drop the deuce up in there. So I'll be doing Senior Bowl coverage all week, all the week. All right. Today we're going to be taking a look at Mel Kiper's mock draft 1.0. Voch don't like mock drafts. Never have. I think they stupid. I think they're ignorant. But y'all love them, and I'm a man of the people, so to speak. So how I decided to do it, instead of me coming out with 30 mock drafts to feed y'all, to quench y'all mock draft thirst, I'll be analyzing and making fun of other people's mock draft. You know what I mean? So whether it be Todd McShay's or whether it be Mel Kiper like we're doing tonight, Charles Davis, whoever the hell want to do mock drafts, they're all going to be different. So we're going to hop on the live stream and analyze them and make fun of them together. You know what I mean? So shouts out to everybody in the chat box that came through. Miss Jackie's up in there. Miko's up in there. I saw my wife up in there too. Thanos is up in there. I saw Rose the Nosy Neighbor up in there. Seagrin's up in there. Primetime up in there. Cruzan, Jason Joseph, salute. Let's get into it, man. Let me pull this up on the screen. I could do y'all better than that, man. Come on, I could do a little better than that. So like I said, right, like it's very early in the draft process. You know what I mean? Very early. And one thing, let's not do that. One thing that I will say about the draft, Illuminati, the media, how they really do their thing, how they really run their game. They're doing it for clicks, and that's okay. That's okay. As long as we as a fan base are aware that they're doing it for clicks. This actually came on television. And of course, I wasn't driving TV, but somebody dropped me the link when it was on YouTube. They're doing this to kind of get the thoughts out, to get the narrative out. They were talking about Ed Oliver, right? They was just talking about Ed Oliver, and they was all like, "Yo, Todd," I mean, yo, Mel Kiper. What happened to my man Ed Oliver, right? Why was he considered a first overall pick, and now he's like a mid-first guy, and they'll tell you, well, the hype train, but now nothing changed. If you watch film, nothing changed. Ed Oliver was always super disruptive, not really good with his hands. He's always been a smaller guy. Like, nothing really has changed about Ed Oliver. It's just that the media scouts are just now catching up to him. They're just now watching the film. Quintin Williams been the best defensive tackle in this thing, but they're watching film now, but the regular scouts, we've been watching film, you know what I mean? So take this mock draft with a grain of salt. First, because we're early in the process. Senior Bowl hasn't happened. Combine hasn't happened. Interviews hadn't even happened. So take that, and then this Mel Kiper, and he's notorious for doing goofy shit. So take that with a grain of salt as well. Let's get into it, man. Just a couple notes I noticed about this draft, though. 3 quarterbacks in the first round. You know, some people saying that it'll probably be more. The quarterbacks may not be the best of the best that we've seen. Like, we've seen some guys come out as of late. You know, Money Mitch, Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. You know, like we've had some guys come out. Goff and Wentz. This quarterback group ain't necessarily got some of those guys, but the premium on the quarterback position. You know what I mean? So anything can happen. Anybody can trade up, can move picks around. Anybody can go up to go get Haskins or Murray. So we'll see about that. Something I like, though. So the 3 quarterbacks, let me just say this first. The 3 quarterbacks that we have in the first round here is Dwayne Haskins to number 6, the New York Giants. I mean, that's interesting. If they go get Dwayne Haskins, I mean, I feel them on that, but I still feel like they got an offensive line problem. So if it was me, hey, man, go get an offensive lineman and get one of those top-tier quarterbacks next year, if it was me. But it's the Giants, and me as a Cowboys fan, I kind of want them to be trash for as long as they can. So, hey, man, do your thing, Giants. But Dwayne Haskins is there at 6, and he also got Kyler Murray at 13 going to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, if that's show prerogative, cool. If Kyler Murray is going to go, somebody's going to love him, and he's going to go early. That's just my thing. If Kyler Murray is one of those early day 2 guys, I don't necessarily see it. If you want Kyler Murray, you want that 5th-year option. You want that long-term evaluation process. So if you're gonna get him, you got to get him first round. I think he can actually play. He can throw. He can move around. He's just so little bitty. He's shorter than Baker Mayfield. He's like 25 pounds smaller than him. I don't want to hear Russell Wilson. He ain't as tall or as thick as Russell Wilson. He ain't Drew Brees neither. We just gonna have to cross that road whenever we get there. You know what I mean? So that whole Kyler Murray thing, somebody's going to have to love him. And then they got Daniel Jones from Duke coming in at 29 to the Patriots. Hey, man, like, whoever the Patriots get, for quarterback, they going to sit down for 2 years, and then we'll see what happens, man. So you ain't got to expect that guy to, be the new guy all of a sudden. If the Patriots do in fact draft Daniel Jones from Duke, then he's not gonna have to be the guy this year. He's definitely getting that Garoppolo treatment. He's gonna sit his ass down to hold that clipboard. They're gonna say, "Yo, Dan, you want your helmet?" Somebody gonna say no. Give him the visor and the clipboard. You're gonna sit his ass down, or whoever the quarterback for the Patriots is. We have the Senior Bowl, this week or whatnot. I was saying about that earlier. What I really like about the Senior Bowl this year is that all the guys are in the Senior Bowl. Not Haskins and not Kyler Murray. Okay, cool. But Daniel Jones from Duke, Will Grier from West Virginia State, Drew Lock. Not West Virginia State, West Virginia University, my bad. Drew Lock from Mizzou, Jarrett Stidham from Auburn, Ryan Finley from North Carolina State, Tyree Jackson from Buffalo, Gardner Minshew, Washington State, Trace McSorley, Penn State. All those guys are going to be in the Senior Bowl. Normally we have like 1 or 2 Senior Bowl guys that we're actually looking at. You know what I mean? Like, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen. Okay, Mike White's in the Senior Bowl. But we got 8 guys that we can really look at to figure this thing out. You know what I mean? So those guys are gonna be competing against each other, and any one of them can climb up this board. Drew Lock could climb. Like, he got great arm talent. He just do a lot of goofy shit. Will Grier, he's more of the big number passer, but the whole Big 12 thing. What's going on with that? Finley had some great games, but he kind of folded when he played big competition against Clemson. Tyree Jackson, the athlete, the big arm guy, the good feet guy, you know what I'm saying? Ken Scoot guy, but plays that. Buffalo, can he put it all together? Can he win? Things like that. So everybody got questions. Everybody got questions about these top few guys or so. Jarrett Stidham, I feel like we've been watching him for years. He was at Baylor, transferred, and I feel like he's been playing at Auburn for 5 or so years. So we finally get to see him amongst the good competition. That's what this whole Senior Bowl thing is about. We get to take these guys from obscure state and see how good they can actually be. So I'm really excited to see what we can do there. So 3 quarterbacks in Mel Kiper's first round. No running backs, which is interesting. Because I really like 4 guys. 4 or 5. I like 4 guys. Not saying that they're first round guys, but there are guys that I really like. Josh Jacobs from Alabama, he could play. Damian Harris from Alabama, he could play. Devin Singletary from Florida Atlantic. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Look, y'all know how y'all want everybody to be Shady McCoy? Like every year, like there's a running back that everybody wants to be Shady McCoy. Boy, Devin Singletary could be Shady McCoy, man. We'll see. We'll cross that road whenever we get there. And, you know, of course, I will be dropping the film session on that. Rodney Anderson from Oklahoma can play. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see. But there are no first-round running backs as of now. So we'll cross that road whenever we get there. 20 defenders, 20 guys playing defense. You know, if you're a team that needs a lot of defensive complementary players, you know what I mean? Like if you're looking for, I was about to say if you're looking for Khalil Mack, I mean, there's a Khalil Mack kind of guy, and I was gonna say, well, if you're looking for Aaron Donald, like, well, there is a Aaron Donald kind of guy, but most of us aren't gonna get those big top tier guys. I think the top tier guys kind of stop at the top 3, really. I think Bosa, Allen, and Williams are the top of the guys. Everybody else are just pretty good complementary players. I like Greedy Williams, but I think he's a pretty good, cornerback to just kind of throw in there. I don't think he's really breaking the game at cornerback. Jonah Williams is a good offensive lineman. He ain't breaking the game at offensive tackle or line, really, because some people saying he's a guard or a center. Quintin Williams breaking the damn game. Quintin Williams breaking the goddamn game. And I'm not kidding. Nick Bosa, everybody in his family can pass rush. His mama can pass rush. They break the game. It's not a lot of game-breaking guys, but it's plenty of guys that can play. You know what I mean? Plenty of guys that can play. So if you're looking for just a piece you can add, if you're looking for just somebody you can just kind of put in and be like, okay, this player can play for me, this guy can start for me, and not necessarily break the game, then this is a pretty good draft for you. A lot of people saying that this ain't a good draft. It's a pretty damn good draft. I think there's a lot of guys in this draft that can play. It's just not really star-studded. Like next year, we got Tonga Valoa, Herbert, and Jake Fromm. Then you got Sunshine from Clemson coming out in 2021. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of guys star-wise next year, but it's some pretty good talent here, though, man. But 20 defenders in the first round, and after a while, I'm going to talk about who's not in the first round, just to kind of give you a little depth on the guys that we do have here. Just in case y'all kind of tuned in late, we're taking a look at Mel Kiper's mock draft 1.0. We're taking a look at it, and in a few points, we're going to make fun of his ass because, I love to laugh at Mel Kiper. So we'll cross that road when we get there. Also, if you're tuning in from my Dallas Cowboy congregation, we're going to have a round table at 9 Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Voch Lombardi, Law Nation, Foots the King. We're going to be doing a 3-man round table. Koye couldn't make it. His sis is celebrating her birthday. He's going to celebrate with her. Salute to you, Koye. Enjoy your fam. But we still got, 3 of the 4 that's going to come through, make some noise, and bust some ass. So 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Y'all check in on that. Let's jump into these picks so we can get an idea of them, so we can talk about them. Nick Bosa at number 1 should be Nick Bosa at number 1. Personally, Voch Lombardi thinks Quintin Williams is the best player in this draft, but, they're going to do the whole positional value thing, and I ain't mad at them. Whatever, do y'all thing. But Nick Bosa, number 1, should be that. Josh Allen, I think Quintin Williams is a better player than Josh Allen, but, if you San Francisco, you probably sick of drafting defensive tackles. You probably sick of drafting big kids up front. So get you a defensive end that can come in, pass rush from the end spot. Salomon Thomas was drafted as an end, but I think they've moved him into that B gap that Voch Lombardi told them that he should have been at. So they spent that second round pick on that second overall pick, on Salomon Thomas. Third overall pick, because they traded out or whatever. But Voch wasn't a big fan of taking Salomon Thomas that early, especially to come in and play edge for him. But that's their business. They pay themselves to do that. But yeah, Josh Allen, man, they want the outside linebacker in that 3-4 kinda look. So yeah, go get Josh Allen to pass rushings. Be your weak side linebacker guy. I ain't mad at him for doing that. Quintin Williams, the best player in the draft. Go to the Jets. He's the best player there. You got your franchise quarterback last year. I think Sam Darnold's going to do just fine. Quintin Williams is going to come in and put some ass whoop on your defense. He's going to put the nipple on the titty on your D line immediately. That's how I feel about Quintin Williams. So salute to the Jets. Greedy Williams, cornerback, Oakland Raiders. Let me also say this. Voch ain't all-knowing, omniscient Voch yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't watched all the film. It's incredibly early in the process. We just taking a look at these guys. So I haven't gotten to the corners late. I actually hate watching film on corners. So I stall, procrastinate. I just wait a little bit. I tuck my chain until Debo lead the block, and then when he leave, I get back to talking again. So I'll be taking a look at cornerbacks later, but I have watched Greedy Williams in passing. I like Greedy, man. He's a pretty good cover guy, like a pretty good man-to-man cover guy. Is that kind of what you want your first pick to be in Oakland? I mean, sure, do your thing. I ain't mad at you. Do your thing, Playboy. I ain't mad. It's interesting how Oakland is one of the bad teams, and they got like 3 first-round picks, but it's so unfortunate that they're right outside of that first crop of elite talent, the Bosa, Allen, Williams, top 3 or whatever. You know what I mean? I find that so hilarious that Oakland just missed the boat. And if you're an Oakland Raiders fan that hasn't talked shit to me, I apologize for saying that. But there's a lot of Oakland fans that talk shit to me because of the whole Amari Cooper thing in Dallas. So if you ever, talked a little crazy, I'm laughing at you. The rest of y'all, my bad. Jonah Williams, number 5 to Tampa Bay. I mean, I can't hate it. I'm not necessarily angry at it. I'm definitely going to watch a little more film to see where Jonah Williams stacks up amongst the rest of them. I like Jonah Williams, a very consistent player, good with his hands, good with his feet. I wish he had a little more ass whoop to him, a little more nasty to him. You're going to hear the draft Illuminati try to use the arm length thing, and then when somebody says the arm length thing, another person in the draft Illuminati, they're going to say, well, what about Joe Thomas? Joe Thomas had short arms. I didn't have to put the whole white man voice in there. Like, I didn't have to do my stereotype Caucasian voice like that. I apologize. But somebody's going to use the whole arm length thing, the whole Joe Thomas arm length thing. Well, I think Joe Thomas had a better anchor. Joe had a better interior anchor to where if somebody was to get inside, they still couldn't move him. I don't think Jonah has that same core strength anchor. Get somebody out of their thing going like Joe Thomas did. So I don't know. Jonah could be cool, but maybe not. Then they got quarterback at number 6, the New York Giants for Haskins. I kind of talked about that already. Cody Ford. This is interesting because I would think the Jaguars would go quarterback. Now the Jaguars could go. They could. They got 2 options here. They could either trade up and try to get a quarterback. That's possible. They don't have too far to go. But you could be easily held ransom here because the top talent, the big talent, is in the top 3, right? And to be fair, if you're Oakland, you kind of wishing somebody does go up and get a quarterback because that'll push down Bosa, Allen, or Williams. So But I would imagine that the Jaguars try to try to move on from Blake Bortles here, or they could be on that Giants train where they just get the best guy this year and just get a quarterback next year because they're gonna be trash next year too. That could be interesting. Cody Ford, I like him. He's number 7. If I'm taking a guard like top like that, like right around 7, I want that dude to be like Quentin Nelson. I don't necessarily think Cody Ford is Quentin Nelson, but it is what it is there. That's just my opinion. Devin White to Detroit. I don't know what the hell wrong with Detroit, man. I ain't really got a good answer about them, but Devin White to Detroit, I can't hate it. Linebacker from LSU, Rochon Gary. I think this could be a bit high, but hey, man, Rochon Gary. Now Kiper has him listed as defensive end here. Rochon Gary is definitely a 3-tech in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. I find it interesting that Gary has been drafted before Ed Oliver here, who's down here at 14. They're the same kind of player. They're that same, hey, I need to use my hands better guy, but they're still super athletic for their size guy. That chaotic disruption player. Both those guys are that guy. You know what I mean? So I find it interesting that Rochon Gary is there over Ed Oliver. I will say that Pat Knight. What's up, OG Pat? He said, Voch, thank you for being on even when the government is closed and shut down. Hey, Pat, you know me, man. You know Voch Lombardi brings the party. Shouts to Law Nation. Rochon Gary and Ed Oliver are similar players to me, but it kind of makes sense because I think Gary is a little more athletic. I think he has a little more D line in him than Oliver. I think Oliver is going to be strictly a 3-tech. I think in some scenarios, Gary can play edge. I'm not putting him at edge. I'm putting him at 3 so he can eat those one-on-one blocks and push pockets in the middle. Just my opinion, but we'll see. DeAndre Baker, I really liked him. Now, when I was watching the cornerbacks in passing, DeAndre Baker, cornerback from Georgia, towards the end of the year, I think DeAndre had a better end of the year than Greedy did. Greedy had a better first of the year than DeAndre did. So when y'all watching film on your own, that's definitely something to look at. Juwan Taylor, haven't watched him. Gotta tune into him a little bit. Let me check my list and make sure he's on there. Yeah, he's on there. But I just see some other names like Yanni Kajus. I also see Greg Little. Those are names that I was just seeing all throughout the process. And I just haven't heard a lot of people say anything about Juwan Taylor. Now, of course, I'll watch the film and break this thing down and really figure it out, like really get a good idea of it. But Juwan Taylor at 11. Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. Last year, somebody had Colton Miller. A certain mock drafter had Colton Miller right there to that Cincinnati Bengals spot. So I hope Mel Kiper got a good tackle evaluator in his midst, but we'll see. If there's any Raiders fans in my chat box, say I. And if you are, let me know how Colton Miller's doing because I dogged the hell out of Colton Miller. Cleveland Farrell. He's going to the Green Bay Packers, number 12. Cleveland Farrell is an edge guy. He's a pure defensive end in my opinion. So if they playing 4-3 in Green Bay, I mean, cool, I'm with that. Quarterback at 13. Yeah, I will say. Ed Oliver at 14. Lieutenant Dan probably don't like that, not one bit. But hey, man, we ain't saying Ed Oliver's trash. It's just that first of all, Ed Oliver's not like he's not a top 5 pick anymore. He's not the best defensive lineman in the draft. Definitely not the best defensive tackle in the class. So just temper your expectations. Watch your film. Do your research on Ed Oliver, and it'll really fix you up real good. Ja'Kai Polite at number 15. That's pretty interesting to me. I watched Ja'Kai Polite. He's a pretty good pass rusher. I think he disappears in the run game. I think he got some pretty good athleticism. I see a lot of Takk McKinley from him. Not very much so exactly like him because I don't really do player comparisons, but he got a lot of Takk McKinley in him, which was interesting. Me watching him, but at 15, that could be kind of high, man. But who knows? Maybe there's a premium, and maybe the Redskins saw Cleveland Farrell go to Green Bay and they panicked a little bit. I don't know what Mel Kiper's thinking here was, but it's interesting because maybe this is where the run starts. And I do think a run could possibly start here because Brian Burns was taken right after Ja'Kai Polite. I also think Brian Burns at top 16 is pretty high for him. Man, man, we'll cross that road whenever we get there. But I already put out my thoughts about Brian Burns. Hold on, man. Let me just stop and give somebody some attention real fast. Let me go address this one guy in the chat box. And I shouldn't be stopping my show, but Travis, what's up, bro? You say Voch. How's Van Der Esch? You dogged the heck out of him last year. Salute to you though. Okay, that was kind of whatever it is, but let me just fix you up real fast. Voch Lombardi, yes, I did dog Leighton Van Der Esch, but if you can answer why I dog Leighton Van Der Esch, that'll answer the rest of your question. Voch dogged Leighton Van Der Esch because I felt like he couldn't deal with trash well. He couldn't deal with blockers well. If you look at the Oregon game, Van Der Esch ran free. Nobody blocked him. He was a great open field tackler, great cover. But in those other games, guys put hands on Van Der Esch. Guys blocked him. Van Der Esch didn't deal with trash very well, So when you get to the Cowboys have a great D-line. Van Der Esch ran free a lot. Cool. Van Der Esch played pretty well. But when the Cowboys D-line got blocked up front, Leighton Van Der Esch got blocked as well. Sit your ass down, Travis. Sit your ass down, my guy. But it's all good, man. I don't live for pats on the backs, man. I'm more so concerned about the long run. I like the long run. Anyway, let's run it for the cardio. Let's get back into it. Where was I at? L.R. Coppola, Brian Burns. So cool. We saw some defensive ends kind of fly off the board there. Jacob Polite at 15, Brian Burns at 16. I put out my thoughts about Brian Burns, and I put out a film session on Jacob Polite. So y'all can go ahead and take that. And kind of just see my thoughts on that. I see a couple more people have been added to my chat box. A couple meaning a lot. Hey, if you're a Cowboys fan, there's going to be a Cowboy roundtable later on at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Voch, Foots, and Law Nation. We're gonna talk free agency. We're gonna talk draft, and we're gonna talk this whole Linehan getting pushed off the bridge thing. Cross that road when we get there. Jeffrey Simmons at 17. I like Jeffrey Simmons. 3-tech player. To the Cleveland Browns, I feel like they got a 3-tech already. I'm not necessarily the expert on Cleveland football, and I haven't taken a look at their depth chart before I got started here. But interesting though. But I like Jeffrey Simmons. I really do like Jeffrey Simmons. And I think whoever he plays 3-tech for, I think that's going to be a pretty good value though. Greg Little, and I know my man said he fresh appreciates this. He's a Vikings fan, and all he wants is his offensive line to be great. So Greg Little to the Vikings is that's all good for him. So let me write this down too. The first tight end off the board is T.J. Hockenson from Iowa. I ain't necessarily got a problem with that. There's a lot of people that think T.J. Hockenson is better than his schoolmate, his tight end mate, draft mate, Noah Fant, who is also from Iowa. So if you want to draft T.J. Hockenson over Noah Fant, I feel you, because there are some things that T.J. does better than Noah. T.J. is a better blocker. T.J. he's a nasty cat. He's more complete, but Noah Fant is the athlete. You know what I mean? So if you want TJ over Noah, fine. I'm not going to kick you off the bridge for it. But it's interesting as I look over to the Raiders at 27, Noah Fant is off the board. Noah Fant is not the first. He's not in the first round, but Irv Smith is. That's interesting to me. So this is forcing me to watch film on This is forcing me to watch film on Irvin Smith from Alabama. He can play. I've seen him playing passing, but it's forcing me to watch it. So we'll cross that road whenever we get there. O'Shane Zimenez, man, I think this is a bit high for him. Boy, O'Shane Zimenez at 21 is a bit high for him. I'm gonna watch some film on him. I'm definitely gonna watch some film to get some thoughts out on him, but O'Shane Zimenez, jeez. I don't know. Maybe Mel Kiper thinks that the Seahawks that they're reacting to that they're reacting to the run on edge guys and that they're just reaching for Zimenez. But man, I think the Seahawks should have been addressing offensive line for 3 years at this point. But that's just my opinion. Who knows? But yeah, man. O'Shane Zimenez at 21. That's interesting. I skipped over Devin Bush, inside linebacker from Michigan. I skipped over him in Pittsburgh. Ryan Shazier probably won't be playing football anymore. That makes sense. So go and get you an inside linebacker to fix that spot up. So that makes sense there. AJ Brown, receiver from Ole Miss. Ole Miss got 2 receivers that can come out this year. Both of them can play pretty good. But A.J. Brown seems like he's the first one to come off the board here, and he's going to Baltimore. Baltimore been trying to get a receiver for years. Maybe they finally get one this year. Byron Murphy with the Texans. I'm not mad at that, but I feel like the Texans are also a team that's been trying to draft offensive line for years, or should have been trying to draft offensive line for years, but they have not. So interesting there. And Marquise Hollywood Brown in Oakland there. Now, I feel like Oakland should try to go pass rusher at some point. They got a defender. They got Greedy Williams at 4, and they haven't gone pass rusher at 24, which is interesting to me. But they want to go get Hollywood Brown. I feel like it's a gang of receivers in this draft as well. Even though Hollywood Brown, Marquise Hollywood Brown is a damn good player, but man, it's so many more guys you can get. And knowing that you're coming back to draft at the top of the first round is interesting. I mean, like N'Keal Harry's there, like Hakeem Butler's still there, DK Metcalf is still there. Hell, Riley Ridley's going to be there at some point. So it's plenty of guys that Oakland can go get to help out that receiver, but they go Hollywood Brown there. So boy, Mel Kiper good as hell. He's goofy as hell for that. Montez Sweat, I think it's too early, but he went to the Eagles, so I'll take it. Dexter Lawrence, damn good player, fell to 26. I don't think the Colts will be going Dexter Lawrence because I think they got a pretty good one tech in the Archery kid. I think the Archery guy can really play, and he's like an unsung hero in Indy. So if you're a Colts fan in my chat box, y'all can kind of just tell me how you feel about that. I think y'all feel pretty good about Archery. And I don't necessarily think that y'all would be going for Dexter Lawrence here. Like, it's a couple other things that you can do. I don't mind D-line here. Hell, go get you a 3-tech because Christian Wilkins is on the board here. I mean, you see him drafted by the Chargers there. You see him drafted by the Chargers there, but it's plenty. It's plenty 3-techs that are on the board right now that you can go get. I think having Archery and drafting Dexter Lawrence, I think that'll be a waste of a pick there. That's in my opinion. You can go get a guy like Draymond Jones. You can go get not Jeffrey Tillery maybe, but like I said, Christian Wilkins there. Gerald Wilkins is there. I just did a film session on Gerald Wilkins, and Gerald his ass can play. So after we leave here, y'all can definitely go and check that out. So interesting how the Colts went Dexter Lawrence there. I don't necessarily think the Colts need a one tech. Archery been whooping people ass all year, but hey man, Mel ain't watching film, man. It's all good. And yeah, Oakland, the Oakland Raiders or the Vegas Raiders, whoever the hell they're gonna be, they got Irv Smith Jr. from Alabama. So they went the first round without getting the edge guy. So let me think about who the next best edge guy would be in this scenario. Like if they wait to the top of the second round, I mean guys like Jalen Ferguson is there from La Tech, Zach Allen from Boston College. I mean, it may be a little early for like Chase Winovich or something like that. So there are some guys, but I think if you want an edge guy, it's plenty of edge guys that can play. But if you want a good edge guy, you might want to jump in on that edge sweepstakes early. I know a lot of Raiders fans wanted that Dallas Cowboys pick to put them in the mid-teens or something like that, but not gonna be able to do it with your goof ass, boy. Cowboy, put your hoes at 27, boy. Hell about here, boy. Anyway, Let me get back focused. And we talked about Christian Williams and Daniel Jones. Yeah. So Daniel Jones, being a quarterback picked by the Patriots. Hey man, Patriots they've been batting pretty well in terms of quarterbacks here, and I think they just get a lot of guys. They just get guys just to kind of see. So I think if they're going to get like a quarterback in the first round, and they're clearly going to be addressing this whole Tom Brady's 42 thing. But man, if Tom Brady can decline and still play in the Super Bowl, man, you may have like 4 more years with Tom Brady, dog. We don't know. I mentioned Draymond Jones' name earlier. Well, Draymond Jones is right there. This is interesting as well that the Rams will go get Draymond Jones. I don't think this is a great idea. Draymond Jones ain't a one-tech to me. I think Draymond Jones is going to be more of a 3 guy. Now, I'm gonna watch a little more film before I'm absolutely sold on that. But Draymond Jones is more of a 3-tech than a 1-tech, and I wouldn't think that the Rams are going to be drafting any 3-techs anytime soon. If it was me, like, think about the guys that you went to go fill bounties out on. Like, you went to go get Ndamukong Suh as a mercenary. You went to go get Talib and Peters. Like, you paid those guys. So I would imagine you would draft somebody that'll get those guys about the paint. Aaron Donald, money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about Draymond Jones coming in and getting Aaron Donald's spot. You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily trying to get Draymond Jones there. Mel Kiper looking goofy as hell again. Get you a 1-tech just in case Ndamukong Suh doesn't want to take a pay cut and hang around it, which I don't think he will. Go get you a corner because Talib is getting older and he may not be here be a Ram very much longer. That's just an idea that y'all can kind of sort of think about. Deandre Thomas, safety for the Chiefs. I mean, sure, man. Eric Berry's about to get about the paint soon too, I'd imagine. So, you bring in Deandre Thomas. I think he's more of a rangy guy. We'll cross that road whenever we get there. But yeah, you can play him at safety. But the Chiefs defense needs everything. You know what I mean? If you're the Chiefs, you wanna keep whatever your offense was doing. You want to keep that shit just like it is, and you want to load up on nothing but defense. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanna go get a safety for your free agency, if you're the Chiefs, I mean, I ain't mad at you, but corner is also an option. Edge rusher is also an option. Linebacker is an option. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of pad that defense up a little bit. You want to get as many good players on defense as you can. Now, if you're the Chiefs and you want to do some ignorant shit to really set this thing off, I'd trade up, go get Quintin Williams and drop some money on Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, and just for the rest of your picks, just draft as many defensive guys as you want to. But I'm evil. I don't think the Chiefs are as evil as me. But if they were, they'll be trying to pull those moves off with their goofy ass. But they're not, so whatever. But right. And we got Paris Campbell at Green Bay. Green Bay got plenty of receivers, man. Mel Kiper out here bugging. Green Bay got a gang of receivers, and they got a lot of guys like from the under rounds. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Paris Campbell at 32 could possibly be a bit high here, but I think Green Bay got a gang of receivers already, man. You want those guys to play a little better on defense, man. You maybe want to, I mean, I like Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, but I ain't never really been a big fan of like running back committees. Just never was. I don't think I ever will be. So that could be a thing there. But mostly though, if I'm Green Bay, I'm trying to fix my defense or whatever. But whatever. That's it though. That's it. So yeah, I mean it's a couple guys left over in this thing. I already kind of said those names. I already kind of touched on them and whatnot. If you missed it, you can rewind it. So like I said, we'll cross that road whenever we get there. I guess I'll take some of y'all questions in the chat box for another 3 minutes or so, maybe 5, and we'll wrap this thing up one more time. If you're a Cowboys fan that tuned in late, I'm gonna be doing the Cowboy Roundtable, Voch Lombardi, Foot's the King, Law Nation. We're gonna be doing that 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Tune into that. Here we go. Do you think Josh Allen can be better than Nick Bosa? I don't know. I don't know. Love your videos, Voch. Real talk. I feel you, Travis. Had to fix your ass real quick, but salute to you, bro. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Draft Aaron Rodgers, a new State Farm agent. Oh my God. Oh, boy, is that spicy. Man, why would you need to draft Aaron Rodgers, new State Farm agent? Voch, do you think it's possible for a DK Metcalf to fall to the Cowboys? I don't necessarily think the Cowboys are looking for receiver help early in this game, early enough to get DK Metcalf. I think the Cowboys are more so looking at trench guys, and I think depending on what safety is there, somebody may touch on safety, but I definitely think the Cowboys are going to focus on trench guys. It happens. Voch, do you think I'll get my food stamps next month? I hope so, dog. Kids got to eat, bro. Kids got to eat. Voch, how long is practice tomorrow at the Senior Bowl? Well, both teams are going to practice all day. It's going to be from like 2 to 12. It's going to be from like 12 to 5. Now, I'm not going to put out the whole, 5-hour practice or whatever, but I will get my one-on-ones in. I'll save the banter from the network squad. I ain't necessarily got to hear their takes on things, but I'll be taking the most important parts, and that's the one-on-one drill. So tune in for that. And I'll be doing a live stream after the practices or whatever. So, Voch, do you think Andre Dillard from Washington State could sneak in the first round to a team like Seattle or Minnesota? Well, it depends on how he does in the Senior Bowl. Andre Dillard is going to be one of those guys to pay attention to see if he can gain some draft capital. So it's going to be a lot of guys in the Senior Bowl for him to block. It's going to be a lot of talented guys there. I know O'Shane Zimenez is going to be there. Jalen Ferguson is going to be there. Zach Allen is a Senior Bowl guy. Montez Sweat. So there's going to be some pretty good edge talent there. So we'll see what Andre Dillard can do versus those guys. Voch, who you want the Cowboys to draft? We won't have first-round picks, so it's pretty early. I want the Cowboys to draft Quintin Williams, but, Voch, you definitely have the best insight on tape and player evaluations. Respect to you, bro. Salute to you back, man. Salute, Justice. Appreciate it. Irv Smith Jr. should be a Cowboy. Not in this draft. He went 27. Do you think we should trade up? Nope. I don't want to trade up nowhere. It's plenty guys in this draft that can play. We can get a starter in the second and third rounds. I ain't necessarily trying to give up a pick to go get a guy. I know trading up is going to be a big thing, but if you look at the Cowboys draft from last year, just as an example, I really like what Michael Gallup was able to do for us. I like Connor Williams. People have their own thoughts about Connor Williams, but I really swayed a lot of opinions on Connor Williams. If you watch the film, it'll tell you the truth and set you free. You know what I'm saying? So. I think first, second, and third round picks are way too valuable to be trading around. I even like fourth round picks, man. Dorrance Armstrong is going to be a pretty good player in Dallas. You know what I mean? So I ain't necessarily trying to give him up to go get a guy. I'm trying to get as many good guys as I can possibly find. So, I'll look up Connor. Hey man, go on my page and type in Connor Williams. You'll get a gang of videos. You'll see Connor winning. You'll see Connor losing. Steelios drop 5 in the super chat. Poll Voch, one of the kings of pro football analysis. Do you agree? Hey man, I appreciate you, man. Don't make me cry, dog. Don't make me cry. Arellano, Arellano. Arellano. I think I'm saying that right. And you got Texas in your pick, so this might be Spanish. So it could be Arellano. Tell me if I'm saying that right. Armstrong or Taco. I think it's pretty early. I think it's too early to know what Armstrong could be, and it's too early to know about Taco's development or whatever. So let's hang tight and see what they got here. If we aren't trading up, is there a good enough safety in this draft for us this year? I mean, it should be. It should be. I ain't necessarily trying to take a safety in the second round. I'm fine with Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods. I'm fine with those guys. I want my second and third round picks to be O-line and D-line, but that's just my opinion. Not even tight end, my guy. I don't even want to be bringing tight ends up in here. Voch, why are people sleeping on Darrell Henderson? People sleep every year, B. Every year. But it's early. Voch, do you think Vic Beasley should move to linebacker? Nah. Vic is a pass rusher, man. He ain't really got a bunch of pass rush moves, but Vic is a pass rusher at heart, man. I mean, you don't necessarily want Vic to be chasing and tackling people and like being like responsible for reads and offensive manipulation and stuff. Vic will get lost up in there. Vic is better when he's just pass rush. I want us to draft the safety from Delaware. You're talking about Nazir Adderley. He seems to have taken a big he has a big fan base in Dallas now, Nazir Adderley. I tell you what though. If he has a good Senior Bowl, Nazir Adderley from Delaware, he's one of your Senior Bowl guys. If he has a good Senior Bowl, might not be around, dog. Hate to break your heart. He might be a first round guy, Nazir Adderley. Not right now though. He's not right now. But if he has a great Senior Bowl and he puts out some great tape in the game and he has a great combine, which I think he can have, good luck. Good luck to you. Thanks for the content. Salute. Yo, Voch, by any chance, have you seen Jay Sternberger, tight end out of Texas A&M? Nope. Nope. Coach Evans in the chat box, he likes A.J. Brown of Baltimore. Hey, man, I'm going to be on Coach Evans' channel Wednesday night. We're gonna go over there and talk draft. So it'll be nice if you guys will come through and hang out with us. I'll be putting out the links or whatnot over at the Ivan Evans channel. He's in the chat box right now. You can click on his page and go over there and check that out. If you're a Ravens fan, go over there and check that out. We'll cross that road whenever we get there. My wife's saying she's waiting on a Nazir Adderley film session. You're my wife. You can watch Nazir Adderley with me whenever you want to, because because we go together. So you can watch. You ain't gotta wait on the film session, Nene. We could just watch Nazir Adderley together. What are you saying? Nene funny, man. Poor my wife funny. What else going on up here? Should we go after Earl Thomas? I'm trying to pay enough of my guys, man. I ain't necessarily trying to put too much bread out there. Kenny Lott says, any good nose tackles out there? There are a lot of good nose tackles. It just kind of depends on where you drafting at. You know what I mean? It just depends. Coach Evans says, watch film and chill. Hey man, y'all know how how many of y'all begging? How many of y'all begging to have a woman y'all can film and chill with? I can film and chill with my wife, dog. What are y'all doing out here? What are y'all doing? What y'all got going on? What are y'all doing? Y'all gotta watch Love and Hip Hop with y'all woman. Get like Voch. We're gonna do this 5 more minutes. We're gonna get up out of here. Do you think the Jets should trade down for O-lineman instead of drafting Quintin Williams and Josh Allen? Just let me tell you something, man. Quintin Williams is amazing, dog. Quintin Williams is amazing. And I don't mind people drafting around. I don't mind people moving spots. If you're in the top somewhere, but like you want another pick somewhere, I don't want to move away from top tier guys. So if you're the Buccaneers and you staring at Jonah Williams, you could trade out of that. You Devin White I mean, you the Lions looking at Devin White and somebody want to like trade in. You can get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? You can leave. I'm not trading away from Nick Bosa. I'm not trading away from Josh Allen. I'm not trading away from Quintin Williams. I'm getting those guys. Boy, the Cowboys fans like all the same people, boy. Boy, the Cowboys fans like all the same people. Nazir Adderley, Trayvon Mullen. Y'all all like, what's my man's name from UMass? The young wide receiver, man. What's my man's name? Andi Isabella. Y'all love him. Man, y'all gotta expand. Y'all gotta expand the palette a little bit. You know what I mean? You gotta reach out to some more guys, man. It's gonna be a lot of people that gets pushed down this draft board. Plenty guys gonna get. Let me take a look at my board here. Not my board. Yes, my board, but my board. It's about 8 quarterbacks that's gonna push guys. About 10 or so running backs that's gonna push guys. N'Keal Harry ain't in this first round, but he's gonna go in the second if you don't go in the first. Guaranteed. Hakeem Butler may be one of those second guys. I think a few wide receivers kind of get pushed down a little bit. Noah Fant pushing things down. According to this draft, Noah Fant's pushing things down. A couple of offensive linemen here. The Wisconsin kids, the Oklahoma kids, Alabama offensive linemen, all those guys are pushing guys down. You know what I mean? So I think the Cowboys can get a pretty damn good player at 58. And whatever the hell number we drafting at in the third round. So keep your picks. Keep your picks. Benjamin Crook says, can Quintin Williams fall? I mean, he can fall down. I mean, Quintin Williams can fall for a joke. Quintin Williams can fall in love. He can. Shit, can he fall? Boy, you know how much weed gonna have to fall out Quintin Williams' pocket at the combine? Oh. Boy, you know how much weed gonna have to fall out of Quintin Williams' pocket. No, sir. No, sir. Quintin ain't going nowhere. Quintin ain't going nowhere. Quintin gonna have to start a fight at the combine. And he still won't lead top 5. No, sir. Coach Evans says, how good is Rochon Gary, Voch? The pros about Rochon Gary. Very chaotic player, very proactive, very upfield. A lot of people have him listed as a defensive end. I think with this new NFL, these guys that want to quickly push the pocket from the interior, I think he's going to be a 3-tech. Pretty strong dude. You're not going to find somebody his size, which is about 270, 280 something. 6 whatever. Combine nerds help me out. Rochon Gary being as big as he damn is, moving like that, you're not going to find nobody better than him moving like that. His problem is that he got a lot of D-line to learn, just like Oliver. He got to learn how to use his hands. He got to learn how to disengage blocks. Sometimes he gets caught up in the fight against these offensive linemen, and he doesn't necessarily find the ball sometimes. But he's a very disruptive player. Pretty good. Pretty good. Voch, are you signing Damian Wilson or drafting his replacement? I think we have a lot of replacements for Damian Wilson already. We drafted a guy last year, Chris Covington from Indiana. We got guys like Justin Marsh-Lillard, who's a better will linebacker, but he can play Sam. Joe Thomas can also play Sam. My whole thing about Damian Wilson is that like some games he only plays 7 plays. We're mostly a nickel team, so I ain't trying to necessarily spend big draft capital on a Sam linebacker, and I'm not trying to spend money that I could be re-signing my other guys for Damian Wilson. So, yeah, man, Damian Wilson probably go, play for Oakland or something. Voch, did you see Anthony Hitchens last night balling? Nah, man, I was talking to my wife, man. I did not really watch the game that close, but you know how it go. Joe Thomas is better than Damian. Joe Thomas is a better Sam than Damian, but whatever. Voch, when we're going to talk about Kellen Moore as the offense coordinator, we're doing a roundtable tonight. Voch Lombardi, Law Nation and Footster King are going to do a Cowboys roundtable tonight. So save all your Cowboy questions for tonight. We would love to answer them. Doug LaFarlette. Who's the first running back off the board? I don't know. Could be Devin Singletary. Could be Josh Jacobs. Could be Damian Harris. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Where was Quintin Williams in the national championship? His hand was hurting. He had a hand injury, but I still think he was pretty solid, whooping whoever was in front of him. But he was dealing with a hand injury though. But Quintin ain't no bitch though. Don't act like Quintin ain't no bitch now. Hey Voch, what about Irvin Smith to the Cowboys? Nope. Voch, stop lying. Nene wasn't online. She wasn't. She was watching the game with me. Come on, Pat. What do you mean, man? I hear tight end is draft this year. Sure. I mean, you hear tight end is deep this year. I mean, sure, it's deep. Sure, but I think I'm fine with the tight ends that we got. Voch, Larry Allen out of Harvard as a free agent. I don't know. 17 seconds to get your questions in. 13 seconds to get your questions in. Once we hit an hour, we're going to wrap this thing up and we're going to run it for the cardio. We're going to dip smooth out. 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. So, hey, man, look, this was fun. I'm going to try to, because there's a lot of new guys here. Instead of me dropping mock drafts on my own, because I think mock drafts are stupid. Instead of me dropping mock drafts on my own, I'm going to be evaluating others' mock drafts. I'm going to be looking at these other guys. I'm going to be making fun of Mel Kiper and Charles Davis and whoever the hell else, Jeffrey Kafelkovich, and all those guys. So whenever there's a new big mock draft to come out, I'm going to be, breaking that down, giving my thoughts on it. For one, that's going to keep me kind of in tune to, who the hell's going where, like what the whole process is or whatever. Plus, it keeps me from, dropping, goofy ass mock drafts or whatever. I will drop my own mock draft, but, Dallas Cowboy fans, we're going to have a roundtable at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Hey, man, I'm dropping a link in my chat box right now. That is to the Gerald Willis film session. He's a defensive tackle. He's from Miami. He's damn good. There's plenty 3 techs in this draft. He's going to be one of them. I think he's like a day 2 guy, possibly, and that's pretty good. Top 50 dude, definitely. So yeah, and he's gonna be a Senior Bowl guy. He is a Senior Bowl guy. So y'all check out the link that I'm dropping in my chat box right now. It's gonna be good to go. Hey man, y'all like this? Join my Discord. There's a link to the Discord down in the description box. Y'all check it out. Need the link to Discord too, please. That's in the description. Nene Russell, thank you so much. Boy, she's so helpful. She just be looking out for me, man. They just be looking out for me. Stelios 300 Cowboy, thank you for your super chats. Edgar Bonilla, thank you for your super chat as well. Thank you for everybody that tuned in, that asked questions, that hung in there. Everybody that liked the video, y'all do that. It's better for the algorithm. Till then, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski. The Peasky Whiskey is free. I'll be back on this thing in 30 minutes. So, peace, y'all. Salute.